name is Phil Triplett. I'm with North Carolina Emergency Management, and I'm the State Voluntary Agency Liaison, or VAL, as a lot of people call it, as well as the people that we work with FEMA are also voluntary agency liaisons. What we do is we work with the communities and municipalities and counties to find the resources that they need in order to be able to recover properly and bring people back into the best possible situation that they can find, which we call the new normal. It isn't no 100% return to what the normal was prior to that. That's because it's called assistance. And what we do is we provide the link between state emergency management and working with FEMA when they come in, since they are our guests when we're invited in to do damage assessments and look at the needs like we're doing currently with this storm, so that we can find the people that are displaced, have damaged or destroyed homes that need tarps, whatever they might possibly need in order to recover. One of the great things about Onslow County is it's one of the best of the long-term groups that I work with. It's one of those situations where I don't hear often from Raquel and people in Onslow County, but I know they're there and they know how to reach me, just like the people I was speaking with this morning on the phone on the way down here, nonstop, about the situations that they're in. We have different ways of communicating. One is crisis cleanup that North Carolina VOAD uses, which is North Carolina Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster, so that people can report what their damages are. And on the other end, we have our volunteer organizations like Baptist on Mission, Samaritan's Purse, many others, Salvation Army, that look at the list on the backside and see what the need is. They'll pick up if they're needing to do a muck and gut and clean out the house, or do a demolition, mold remediation, new roof, a tarp on a roof, whatever it happens to be. They'll pick it up from the other side and communicate directly with the survivor to have those repairs or whatever the need is to be done to take care of. In the event they can't do it all, then they put it back into crisis cleanup, and then another group that maybe does more with rebuilds or with the water situation, heating and air conditioning, whatever it happens to be that the earlier group could not do, we'll pick it up and continue on the work until we can hopefully get everything repaired. There's another one that is called Needs List that we work with North Carolina VOAD on. And Needs List runs all 365 days of the year, as opposed to crisis cleanup being available only in the recovery phase of a disaster. And Needs List, for example, logistics with state emergency management was given a half a pallet of cleanup kits yesterday. And I placed them on Needs List with the contact information, and a group has already seen them out there and knows where those kits can go. And so it's being worked out with emergency management logistics and that volunteer organization for logistics to deliver those goods to that group so they can be sent out and dispersed where they need to go in one of the affected counties from this particular disaster. And it works very well. We have it running very similar to crisis cleanup. The great thing is that it can be used in a smaller situation. If you had an apartment fire, if you had a tornado here where the state was not involved, we didn't have a state or federal declaration, things can be put on Needs List where you have a need or you have availability of 3 pallets of diapers, for example. It can be put up there. People can watch that and see where it can go. It also will list whether transportation and delivery is provided, or if you have to do that, whatever the logistical piece is for that, so that it can be handled as efficiently as possible. So it's a great way to have a tool available for that kind of thing. when it's needed. And during the blue sky days, one of the things I do, since my territory is all 100 counties, is working with the different counties, especially the ones that don't have long-term recovery groups, to understand the importance of it. And there are many counties that don't realize what that's like, and emergency management doesn't realize what that's like in removing that piece or burden, as some of them look at it, with the individuals and households that are damaged, that group can come together like this one and do a great job in helping the citizens and the friends and neighbors get back to where they can be as good as possible. The thing about the group here, for example, that is so helpful is in a situation where you have a tornado, for example, there are times where we don't meet a threshold for a federal declaration or a state declaration. And it doesn't take a lot of homes to really get a state declaration, but if they're very small, like we've had in other counties, that means the state has no funding from the legislature to help people rebuild. Some volunteer organizations are not aware of what happened in that situation with the disaster, so they don't come. So what happens is everybody is stuck without any resources or very limited resources. But with what you have here in Onslow and being available, knowing what your community is like, and your community knowing you and the people that are involved, they're more comfortable in coming out and finding what's available. And that's where I come in as well, is that in those non-declared situations, we may not be able to find state or federal money, but we do have several nonprofit organizations like Catholic Charities or Lutheran Services Carolinas that will have money for whatever it might be that they need, that they can get allocated, whether it's helping pay rent while they're displaced or paying a water bill that they're behind on, or whatever situation they happen to be in, so that they can take some of those burdens away while they try to recover. So the main thing is to remember who the contacts are, where you can find information, which Onslow does a great job of doing, especially compared to some of our other counties that I'm really proud that you do, and letting you know that we're available to help out in whatever situation that we are set up to do, and take care of the citizens of North Carolina the way that you would like them to be handled. So that's the main purpose of why I have a job and enjoy doing what I'm doing, is making sure that people are safe, sanitary, and secure in the homes that they're in, or finding a new place to live where they can be in that safe environment.